What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Guys of Texas, brought to you by Last Stand Hats. Last Stand Hats, go there now. They just came out with this Man series. And oh, by the way, this is one of my favorite ones. Occupy Left Field. Why is this important? Number one, any of these hats purchased, portion goes to the Texas One Fund. Also, in 2 weeks, the Longhorns will play an exhibition against the Texas Red Raiders. I don't know if you guys knew this, but they're going to they're playing a 12 inning game at Dell Diamond on the 27th. So
really,
yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so go to laststandhats.com. Use promo code the guys for 20% off your purchase. I love they actually have a sweatshirt on here that is sick. So don't buy that one yet because I'm going to go get some first. So, all right. Gamer Elliott, hello. Thank you for joining us. What's up, boys? How we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling rough from the game and from tailgating.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those that we walked away feeling empty-handed, even with a win.
Yeah, it was a strange vibe coming out of the stadium. Very, very somber, very cool, very quiet. I know we said this is strange. It feels like we're coming out of a loss right now, not a double-digit win. Yeah, just kind of a strange vibe coming out of that stadium.
Yeah, I had multiple encounters today with the casuals. Like, oh yeah, UT won today. Were you excited? And I was just like, I don't want to talk about it right now. They're like, but you won. Like, doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, one of the guys I was playing golf with is not necessarily a football fan, but he was talking to me. He goes, "Hey, I mean, Texas really killed UTEP." I was like, "Well, if that's the way you want to describe it, yeah, sure, I guess." Number one, it's UTEP. Number two, it was probably the worst. It was the worst performance I've seen Texas play in quite a while, to be honest. So we'll break it down. But one thing I wanted to talk about first was the stadium. And I know somebody in particular wants to talk about this, I'm sure, but the fans. Now, I did see Sark took blame for the fans not being into the game. Because they weren't putting out the product for them to be able to cheer for. However, does anyone have anything they want to say about maybe the Longhorn fans that are in the stadium?
They're great fans, super loud. Nah, dude, it was ridiculous. I got heated for sure. That was before the beers were really starting to flow too. So that was pretty sober mad at that point. This just pissed me off because Sark says that, but we are putting the product on the field on defense. That's where you make noise. That's where you scream. We're sitting there in the game, and it's like, dude, honestly, it felt like it was us four. Shout out Ethan coming with us to the game.
Yeah.
Us four sitting there screaming our lungs out while everybody's just sitting there. And
looking at us like we're crazy.
And turning around, looking at me like I'm crazy for screaming for my team.
Well, that may have been something else you said. I don't know. Maybe I don't.
Maybe, but
I mean, yelling at them to get up. Like, you're correct. Like, I'm sick and tired of these games. Sick and tired of these the free games, if you will, the ones we pay teams to come out and play. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we have to be in these games like they're a Georgia game, like they're Kentucky or Arkansas coming here. Like, you have to really be on top of it because that's what makes the experience. Let's talk about the boys down the road. They have no problem getting really loud every single game, and they're known for a loud stadium. Some of that's engineering, but they are also loud. Like, let's be real here. They are a very loud fan base. But they get up for every game. And it is very annoying that Texas fans, just like Cowboys fans, as I talk about all the time, when the going gets tough, they get going out of the stadium. And you could see that by the end of the fourth quarter. Like, I took a picture and the stadium was just absolutely empty. It wasn't that hot. Sure, it was hot a little bit, but the wind and the breeze helped. Like it wasn't that bad. Like I'm sick
No, it
and
wasn't
tired
bad.
of all these fair weather fans, and the only time they're there is because we have a good football team. We still have a very good football team, but we got a lot to work on. But yes, the fans piss me off.
Dude, at least
Dude, I always
give me
feel
third
bad
down.
for. I always feel bad for recruiting. Like you're bringing on. Like apparently it hasn't affected our recruiting. We're still putting in big classes, but I'm just like, dude, you bring these kids into the stadium for any of these type of games. It's like, what am I excited about? These fans aren't cheering for anything. They'll get a little loud on third down, and otherwise they sit there and don't say a word and look at you like a crazy person if you're yelling. The girl behind TJ looked a little terrified. I mean, behind Jono looked a little terrified. 18-year-old girl, and like he was like starting to talk crap about everyone being quiet, and I looked over and she's just like shrunk back in her seat.
They
Maybe
bought
we
the
need to start go and sit over by the student section.
exactly. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need to try from here on out, because obviously we can get them split up. But I'm just
No,
like, dude,
2 weeks ago the student section was like they were so quiet. I was shocked.
yeah, I just expect more from the fans. We got a top 10 team. I heard Sark talk about that, about not putting the product out there. I'm like, dude, I don't care about offense. Like, I do care about offense, but if I'm in there screaming, I'm not going to be screaming for the offense unless touchdowns scored. It's defense is where you pride yourself as a fan and going to the game to make a difference. And it's like, obviously UTEP had no issues at any point in that game getting any communication through, from the coaches to the players.
Yep.
And I mean, me as a fan, I want to see false starts. I want to see pre-snap penalties on them. Like that's where you can make your difference as a fan. And yeah, man, it was sad to see everybody just no noise whatsoever. Everybody was sitting there just quiet. But the offense goes for it on fourth down, and next thing you know, the whole stadium's up cheering and screaming. And I'm like, guys, it's fourth down on offense, and we're gonna sit here and make noise and disrupt our offense. It's like, dude, this is like fundamental football knowledge, and it was pissing me off, and it's obviously still grinding my gears today. So.
Well, and that's what I was going to bring up. That fourth down, when everyone started getting loud, I was like, oh, these are the people that just bought like the $30, $40 tickets out there and just came to watch a sporting event. So I see Wile E. Coyote in the chat saying defense is keeping us alive. The fan base is fickle. People on their phones. I'm guessing I know who this Wile E. Coyote guy is. I'm guessing the E in Wile E. Coyote may be our boy that came with us to the football game. So I'm assuming. I don't know. Sometimes it's like code trying to read these names that are on Twitch and on YouTube. But appreciate you joining and fully agree. It was absurd. And the fact that Sark is taking the blame for that is crazy also. Like it's absurd. This Wile E. Coyote says, also, I love rocks. Must be Ethan. It's got to be.
I heard Seth's mic's a little quiet, apparently.
His mic is a little quiet. Hold on, maybe I can change that on this end. Hold.
I got a text saying that his
okay,
mic
what about
is
now?
A little quiet.
I could have just been reclining back here, not close
Oh
enough to my
yeah.
mic.
Oh yeah, that's better.
I think you're probably sitting back a little bit, but yeah. A little interesting though with that. It's just you expect it, even sitting lower level, you expect fans to be louder in the lower level. It's like you said, kind of these fans, they're just going to watch a sporting event. You're gonna buy those tickets, but those tickets are going to be up in the nosebleeds, upper deck, where we were. Those should have been all people that actually spent.
Season ticket holders. Yep.
So it's just frustrating because like, dude, DKR's got the potential to be insane. And I feel like there's so many times where I'm just like, I just get frustrated that it's only a game or two a year that the fans will actually get up and make some noise.
And I don't know what game they really will. I mean, Arkansas probably, Vanderbilt half the game. A&M would be the only one.
Yeah,
A&M's
pretty wild.
A&M will be a rowdy one, but. So I do need to do a little housekeeping. While we were on stream last time, my shirt came off because we had subs. And Marky Mark came through with 5 gifted subs. Skim Tittle came in with a sub. And then we had Jim LaHaye. Jim LaHaye with a sub also. Thank you guys so much on Twitch for those. We appreciate you. Sorry we missed them on Saturday. It was a little chaotic, but we greatly appreciate those. All right, so let's get into the actual game. Texas drops down to number 8 in the AP poll. Sark's press conference I watched today, and he just has a way of bringing me back a little bit to reality. Like, just the way he talks, like, imagine being the coach of this football team and then you got to go face the music every single game. The way he handles himself, to be honest, is so good. Like, I love Coach Sark for the way he presents himself, especially because he knows he's going to get really hard questions on this game. And
unless you ask if Arch is injured.
Well, we're going to leave the bathroom photos out of it. But seriously, like, even watching him, he knows he's going to get hammered, and he handled it really well. There was a clip which I want to show, but I just noticed something screwed up here, but we're going to do it anyways. We're going to go here for a second. I'm going to get rid of these. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to watch this. Let me turn this on so you guys... Oh, you guys should be able to hear this. Let me... Look, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. All right. Here we go.
I think some of us are stunned that Arch hadn't been better, and the expectations were crazy out of whack.
I don't hear any audio.
I was wondering if you were that surprised that he hadn't had more success, and do you even consider just keeping him out a series or two like you did with Quinn last year?
No, I mean, I feel like we've done enough to where I'm going backwards on your question, just so you know. I feel like we've done enough with him to have a pretty good understanding of who he is as a player and what he's capable of. And I know there's a lot of football in there that's high-level quality football. And so is my expectation of him as a player high? Yes. Do I expect him to play the best football of his career the first 3 games of this season? Probably not. That probably wouldn't be fair. But our job as coaches is to work him towards that, and so that he continually improves throughout the season, like all of our players on our team. I think it was too early to say, oh, give him a series. You know, he provides enough offense for us where I can go a different way, using his legs and provide offense that way. And obviously, he scored 2 touchdowns with his legs today to take advantage of it, and had a nice 2-minute drive right there at the end of the first half to score. So there was a lot of good in there. I just know, and I think we all would agree, that there's better in there, right? That's to come. And again, it's a race to get there as fast as we can.
Okay, so basically the question was, did you ever plan on, like, why not give Arch a breather? Did that thought process come in your mind? And basically Sark said no, because my game plan is...
Are we still full screen on the video?
No, we're not. You are. But basically his... well, now that just...
There we go.
There you are. All right. So, but basically, Sark said, I had a game plan where I could run him. And basically, once he's doing that, now he's creating to where Arch is playing backyard football, and where he's not having to think as much, but he's running, and which created that interception because he's running back and forth across the field, and now he's playing backyard football. I didn't like the fact that we just decided to go, okay, yeah, this sucks, but let's just let him run around and call a bunch of running plays, designed running plays on that. And I watched On Texas today, and they said Rod Bader did the research that that's the first time in a very long time that Sark has had that many plays specifically for a quarterback run. Like some of them were scrambles, typically, but these were designed
like 8
runs.
designed run plays.
Yeah, like an absurd amount. And so now we're getting into this arch world of, and I think John talked about this, but we're babying him to the max, and we're so scared to take him out, to give him a breather, that what if Caldwell comes in and does well? I think they were more terrified of that than the latter. So what did you guys think about the clip and then kind of Arch in his play?
I mean, I think really similar, like what you say. Like, I didn't watch the press conference, but all day today I've just been so frustrated and going through my head. But the second listening to him talk, I'm like calming down a little bit. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. There are some things that we can end up growing into and things like that. But to be honest, like, I went back and watched the Mississippi State game today. I don't know who the player we're seeing right now is, because Mississippi State, he was playing great football. He was throwing dimes and double coverage, like deep touchdown passes, slant routes, hitting people in stride, out routes, hitting people perfect. And then, well, we were seeing in the stadium yesterday, like, dude, he was not accurate with like any ball, just like straight, nobody in sight, throw the ball there. He's throwing it like 3 yards to the left, and the guy's having to go get it. And I just don't understand what could have happened from last year to this year in his progression, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it, TJ. Like, he's babied. He's babied by our fan base mainly, and I'm like, we've talked about this. I'm not gonna beat it over the head with it, right? But like, everybody threw Quinn to the fire continuously, and the mistakes that Arch is making is just inexcusable, dude. Like, I'm just talking about basic throws. Like, you're a guy that's been in the system for multiple years. You've proven throughout your whole entire career up to this point that you pride yourself on your accuracy, right? That was always his thing. He was an accurate passer. And like, these just seem like basic throws that he's not able to complete. And I don't like just, hey, we're going to flip the script and now we're just going to run him because we don't trust his arm. It's like, we got to work through this in the passing game, because we're not going to be able to run the ball like that against bigger defenses than UTEP, right? We're not going to be able to be one-dimensional. Like, we talked about that. Like, is this team just going to be a ground and pound offense with the defense saving the day continually? You know, that's what it feels like at this point. So I am kind of hitting that button at this point on this offense. If you can't complete 50% of your passes and pass for over 120 yards against UTEP, we got a problem for sure. So it's just, like Seth said, it's strange, man. It's strange. It doesn't even look like the same football player that we saw last year, which I know he didn't have a whole lot of looks last year, but you know, he had a couple games obviously started, and he looked way more accurate than he has this year.
Yeah. Arch went 11 for 25, 114 yards, 1 passing TD, 1 interception, 2 rushing TDs. Number one, the question was brought up, what if that was Quinn out there? And I think we've all kind of really gone over that before. But, I mean, Quinn would have been booed 10 times. Like, they had videos on ESPN, like during the game, the notification was coming up, fans are booing Arch after 10 straight incompletions. I didn't hear a bunch of boos. Like, I heard some boos, but for what deserved, I didn't hear what if it was Quinn, we would have definitely heard it. And they would have been chanting, get him out. Like, I can't, that it kind of goes back to the fan base also. Like don't pick and choose. Like don't pick and choose. This is not, like, he's a kid. Yes. He's going to grow. Yes. But give him the same treatment you gave Quinn, because you were perfectly fine giving it to him. The other portion of this whole game plan on the offense was the fact that all of a sudden we just decided we're like Michigan in 23 and we're just going to run the ball all the time. And it started out okay, but then first play, Baxter goes out with a hamstring injury. And then you've got Jarrett Gibson, you've got Simon, and you had, so Gibson had 18 carries for 64 yards. Simon had 17 carries, 67 yards. Arch had 9 carries for 21 yards. And I don't remember what was the other one. There was one more. It was
Clark had some carries too.
Yeah, Clark. I don't remember. I don't know why I didn't put that on here, but Clark had
7 for 32.
Yes, 7 carries for 32 yards. Which Clark was the one I thought was going to really take the ownership of that. So there's a couple of different things with switching. Like, number one, are we panicking because we can't throw the ball? Was that what that whole game plan was? Like, they knew, like, we can't throw the ball right now. We're going to need a couple more weeks to figure this out. Let's figure out if we're a running team instead. Well, the answer is no, we're not, because the offensive line did not do very well. The Gibson, in my opinion, was just awful. Like, he just kept running into everybody. He couldn't push a pile whatsoever. He did not look good to me, and he looked the same as last year. I figured it would be a little bit different, but he looked the same to me as he did last year. I don't know if this is the new game plan, but I'm terrified if it is. Because the offensive line, even, we can't not put blame on that either, because there were bad blocking across the board on this. And the second half with Arch, they had, I think, one pass over 10 yards the entire second half that they attempted.
Yeah. Attempted.
We're in dark times, boys.
It's wild, man. The whole switch, like, you're asking, like, what is it? Yeah, it was a total. I don't see any other option besides they're scared of Arch. Like, they're terrified of what could happen to Arch if he keeps trying to throw the ball right now. And why is that? Like, I'm starting, like, during the game, I was talking to you guys, like, maybe Arch is hurt, because this does not make sense. But yeah, going to a complete run game decision for this whole game, like, it was really frustrating to sit up there and watch them just over and over again, just inching out like 1 to 2 yards, and like, this is not working. And dude, we are going to get 8 up if we don't have a solution. This is going to be bad.
Yeah, I think like another thing that I was looking at offensively that I got heated about this too. 2 for 5 on 4th down conversions. My main thing is this offense obviously has no confidence right now, 0 confidence. You have to reward a young offense with points. There's something about points going up on the board that gets in your offense's mind's head, and then they're like, okay, we got points on the board. Let's go, and we'll move the ball better next time to get a touchdown. If you fail on a 4th down conversion, I feel like that is such a gut check to an offense. And we saw it a handful of times where it's just like, I get it. I like that Sark's aggressive. You know, don't get me wrong on that. But I feel like we have to find a way to get an identity on offense, and we have to find a way to get confidence on offense. And not succeeding on 4th down is such a shot in the foot. And that's one thing about the game that I was frustrated about as well. I'm like, dude, take the points. It doesn't matter. It just take the points at this point and get your confidence up.
I don't agree with that, to be honest. Against UTEP, I don't. 4th downs, like, you got to practice them. Like, and Sark even said in the press conference, he said, we even, like, the 3rd down conversions, he said, yes, some of it's play call, some of it's the play call before, where a lot of these are 3rd and longs. They're 3rd and 9 or outside of that. He said some of them were shorter, where they knew they were going to run on 3rd down, knowing they'd get close enough to go again on 4th down and start working on that. A game against UTEP with points doesn't matter, yes, but at the same time, they've got to practice all that stuff too. So it's better to do that against UTEP. Now, if we're doing that against Florida, no, like, we can't be doing that against Florida. But Sark has been known to go for it quite a lot, and so is that just kind of enabling it? I'm sure of saying, yeah, sure, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. We did it last game against UTEP. Why not run that same play now? Like, I don't necessarily think that's the type of mentality you need, but you also need game film to be able to study to see what's happening on that. So I hear you, and I would typically agree with you, but against UTEP, I don't care about the points as much as getting the ball down the field. And to be honest, the fact that we struggled so much, I think all these field goals would be a gut check anyways. Like, I think if you damned if you don't on that end.
Yeah, I get what you're coming from. It just feels like a psyche problem right now.
Yep.
It's like everybody's in their own head. Everybody's overthinking everything they're doing. There's no flow. It just doesn't look like they're having fun. You know, that's the main thing that we talked about with Arch last year, dancing with his offensive line, coming down to the sidelines, celebrating with the running backs, with the defense. He had a swagger about him all last year, and that's what people liked. And this year, I see a guy that looks shell-shocked. I see a guy that looks like a deer in headlights. It's just not something that any of us thought we were going to see coming into the season. I would have never thought that this would be what we would be talking about on a week 3 recap.
You know, I think at times like this, you need to take a page out of Little Big League and let's just go to an amusement park. Take the boys, go to an amusement park, go hang out, get some team camaraderie going again, because something's got to change. And I like the fact that Arch did sit at that press conference and he took the heat and he said, that's on me. Like, I've got to be better. So he's sitting there standing up for himself and taking the blame, which he should. But at the same time, he's also got a family that not many people have that he can rely on. He has we talked about the fact that he may be injured again during that game. We were like, okay, what if? What if it's some sort of small rotator cuff or something, which is why he's sidearming? I don't think that's the case anymore. Going back and look at it, Sark's not going to run him like that if that's the case. Like, you're just going to make things worse. Right. So the injury's out the window. Like, we keep trying to bring it up and because honestly, we're trying to figure out where Arch went that we saw last year. And so the throws that we're seeing now is he's missing wide open guys by 5 yards. And the only thing it can be, in my mind, is the yips. And so that has to be what it is. And Sark talked about in the press conference how he's speeding up. And the second he said it the first time, he said he's speeding up and then he's decelerating on his throw. And I immediately went, oh, golf. And then right after that, he goes, it's kind of like when you're playing golf. It's like, yes, that's the exact same thing. So basically, when he's going back to throw, he's going quick for the draw. And then when he's going forward, he's trying to finesse it in. And he's thinking too much when he's going through his motion, is what Sark is saying, which I would agree with that. And I think he's just scared to make mistakes now. And
yeah,
he's gonna have to talk to his uncles. He's gonna have to talk to somebody and figure out how to get that out of his head, because that's the only thing holding him back. Arch will be fine. Like, we all know, we've seen what Arch can do. He's got the talent. It's whether or not he can get out of his own head.
Yeah. It's been, man, sure. It makes you question this whole last week, just like, who is Sark right now? Like, this kid's been sitting in the program for 2 years. He's finally got his opportunity. He's been developed by Sark, who's supposed to be this quarterback guru. Like, how is this possible? That's what it has to be, though. Like, I don't know what else we can put it on besides he's just mentally struggling with where he's at right now.
And it just seems like, if you look at it from week to week, it's like Ohio State, there was a handful of throws where we were like, oh man, he really missed those throws. You think of 3 or 4 of them where you can consider them bad. Then you move to the next week, it was like there was like 5 or 6 throws that were bad that he missed. And then you look at yesterday and you're like, God dang, there's probably 10 plus throws that I can think of. Like, it's progressively gotten worse over the last 3 weeks. And that's the super alarming thing. It's like, dude, this is UTEP, where if you go back and look at UTEP, UT Martin's quarterback last week against UTEP threw for 273 yards on 70% completion percentage with a touchdown. You know, it's like, you know, it's just not adding up right now. It's just crazy to me. But I mean, like I said, I'm not hitting the button that I say Arch needs to get out. I'm just saying it's crazy to me that there's some kind of mental block right now that's clear as day. Like you said, how does he get out of it?
Playing possum, man. This is all just an elaborate scheme.
It's quite an elaborate scheme, because right now, I mean, I started thinking about it. Like, I mean, think about the wide receivers right now. They're like, are we ever going to get to be able to showcase what we can do to get drafted? Like
Yeah.
this is not just affecting Arch. This is affecting a lot of people. And so that's the crazy part is you're about to like you do this for a couple more games and turmoil is going to happen in the locker room.
Yeah,
And
I was thinking about that earlier today while I was driving. Like Texas has been super fortunate with transfer portal. Like we haven't had any of those big issues of guys like having success and then leaving or that kind of things. I was like, if this season continues the way it is, like the flood of transfer portal people leaving the program could be insane.
Yeah, that's obviously an overreaction right now, but
Yeah.
that is on the table right now, and that is scary to think about. Offensive line, we talked about a little bit, but boy, they just did not have it going either, especially the left side. Like, for whatever reason, like the left side just seemed to be getting beat pretty handily in a few different instances I remember. And then I don't know. I don't think the running back, I don't think Sark really thought about Baxter being out that quickly. And who knows? That poor guy, man. Like, hopefully it's just a minor little thing. He can get to Florida. He'll just take a back seat. But, man, that guy can't stay healthy right now. And at least it wasn't a knee. But, God, I hope he gets back quickly because he deserves it. He's worked his butt off to be able to get there. So, really hoping that Baxter turns it around there. Get the defense.
Yeah, offense top to bottom. You just really can't find anything to say is working well.
I was about to say, let me get off the doom and gloom right now.
Yes.
And
Give
talk
me some
about
roses.
another great defensive performance. Multiple turnovers. I thought the defense played pretty well the entire game. They got put out in bad situations with the offense not being able to move the ball and having to punt it away. And I feel like the defense really had another great performance, in my opinion. We saw a lot of young guys get looks as well. Overall, I mean, if you look at it, UTEP's third down conversions were low. They were 0 for 3 on fourth down. They had to pass the ball around a little bit because they didn't really have another choice because they couldn't rush the ball on us, averaging 2 yards carry. So the defense carried us home again because this was any other opponent. I'm not 100% sure what would have been the case.
I think go ahead and get ready for that for a little while. I think we are, I mean, you've talked about it. I think we need to start making some I Love Defense t-shirts. You said it. I mean, at this point, that's our only real saving grace. And I mean, even on the defense, like they let them throw 209 passing yards. I mean, that's what's even more frustrating is UTEP is getting the ball around better than Texas was. And that's probably the most frustrating part about it was how are we going to let UTEP do that to us, but we can't go right back at them and do the same thing. Like it got so frustrating on all sides of the ball. Like defense did look good, and quite on. Like you had McDonald and Littleton with an interception. McDonald's looking really good right now. I'm liking the way he's playing.
100%. Trying to look up something right now. It was, I mean, y'all probably can guess most of the names on it, but I think it was like the top 7 ranked quarterbacks in Arch Manning's class, and what an insane
Dude, I saw that
run of quarterbacks that is. It was like Arch, Nico, Malachi Nelson, Jackson Arnold, and like just the entire top 7 is just like, wow, what's happening with these guys? Crazy.
Yeah, all of them. Like, and Arnold is, I mean, let's be real here. Arnold is not necessarily a passing quarterback right now. I didn't see what he did this weekend, but he's been more of a use your legs type of quarterback right now also. So I don't know. As far as Texas goes in the defense, that's really our thing to hang our hat on right now. But I know when we got to the bar and started watching other football teams and was like, oh, this is what real football looks like. We watched that A&M game and went, uh-oh.
Yeah, both those offenses were moving the ball.
Yeah, it's not a good time right now. Dude, that was like the insult to injury is like watching what is supposed to be. I think I've said it like 100 times the other day. Like, this was supposed to be our year to step into dominance. Like, we have the pieces. This was supposed to be it. And now to be sitting here and dealing with what we're dealing with, and then watch A&M play a game like that that was just so electric, and it was so frustrating.
I mean, they beat a team that's now 0-2. Let's be real here. Like, it's not like they beat a top
It was still
contender.
a very electric game.
It was a great game. It was a great game. I think Marcel Reed looks pretty good now. And then they have Concepcion, and what was that?
I'm
other
still
kid's
worried for him
name?
though, dude. He's like a freaking twig, man.
Yeah.
Like every time he starts to run the ball, I'm just like, this could be it.
Yeah. Well, there was that one play where he got his shoulder wrecked, and I was like, oh no. Like A&M has gone through it with quarterbacks for so many years. It was like they can't go out like this again. Like, I was happy to see him come back in, to be honest, because A&M's been through it. And they need a quarterback that they can get behind and get a lot of hopes up, and then come in here and get smashed in the face when they come down to our place. So I need them to get as hype as they can before they come over here. So, all right. Anything else about the game you guys have?
I was trying to find bright spots, dude. I didn't want to come on here and and act like we're at a funeral right now. But yeah, it was hard to find some bright spots on this game, unfortunately.
All right, so let's go to the Longhorn Runway as we do every recap. I think you guys can see this now. This is sponsored by, of course, Last Stand Hats. Go to laststandhats.com. Use promo code TheGuys for 20% off your purchase. Let's go through what we got. All right, so here's the first problem is I need jersey numbers. I half these guys I can't tell who is who anymore. But the white sneakers, fine. Full white, great, love it. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is like I can't tell if it's a light blue or white because the top makes it look like it's light blue. But either way, clean look, love to watch.
That's clean.
Then you got this. This is, I don't know.
Where are these pictures coming from? I've not ever seen these player pictures.
Facebook. Like
who you got in the locker room? Dude?
Dude. They post them on Texas football, Texas Longhorns. They both those Facebook pages post all this stuff. All right, don't worry about that. All right, so left side is a light blue tie. The plaid shoes. Okay, good. Yeah, like that. I don't know how I feel about the brown. I don't know how I feel about it.
You're talking about Gilbo looks great.
Yeah, he looks great. He's also wearing. Is that a sweater, dude? It's 100 degrees outside still.
Is that a turtleneck?
Yeah, dude. It does look good. Good. Yeah, I've never been a brown guy. But here's my problem. Can we get the right color orange, please? Because all these guys keep wearing this orange, and I don't know what the tie is. That is a wild, different type of orange. And then this is the closest to Tennessee orange you could get. Like, can we not get some burnt orange? Yeah, the tie is honestly UTEP orange. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. Like, and then the suit. Like, I love a bright colored suit, but that is too close to the Tennessee colors.
Wearing a chain instead of a tie is.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it is a look. I'm sure Weisner was wearing that on the sidelines again this week. All right, so this is the one I had. Suit, fine. What are those shoes?
What are those?
What are those, dude? Like, it's like he went rock climbing in a suit. I'm not a fan. Designer bag, fine, whatever. But the shoes, not a fan of.
Old man, you don't get it.
I don't get style anymore. Everything else up top, like the suit and everything, looks great. The shoes, no, I'm out on that. This is the cleanest look I had. Like, this is a sick outfit. It's right classy. Here. I enjoy it. That's my favorite one. And then Sark, of course, went back. He's in the plaid this time. This is more of a Del Conte than a Sark look for me. But the tie is clean. I enjoy the tie.
Jacket doesn't really look tailored to him, if that makes sense.
Yes. I mean, look, he's been busy, okay? Also, he's putting his horns up, dude. It's just
I gotta say, this is the weirdest segment ever.
Look
It's
at
just not tailored right.
yeah, the tailored right is no. You got to just join in with it, man. I'll tell you right now that if I could look that good in that other suit, yeah, I'd wear that thing all day long. All right, and that's the Longhorn Runaway. Thank you guys for
Solid.
having fun with that. All right, so next we have something special for you guys because we have a new sponsor. That new sponsor is Corona Extra.
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Is now a proud sponsor, the official import of the Texas Longhorns. Corona Extra, with a refreshing, smooth taste balanced between heavier European imports and lighter domestic beer. Corona Extra is an even-keeled cerveza made for the beach, the backyard, or whatever you're feeling. 13.9 grams of carbs, 4.6 ABV. Must be 21 or up to drink it. Unless you're a frat boy. 21 or up, drink responsibly. Thank you, Corona, for sponsoring the most hungover Longhorn of the game. So, boys, who is your pick for most hungover Longhorn of the game?
After talking it out, I feel kind of bad about making this pick, but I
Oh,
picked
boy.
Sark as my most hungover Longhorn of the game. I was just so frustrated in that game of like the play calling and just the overall like how could this be where we're at that he is my most hungover Longhorn.
I don't. Number one, the irony, but number two,
I thought about that.
I can't blame Sark for that game. Like he had to literally figure out anything and everything of what to do to get Arch going, and he talked about it in the press conference. Like especially after listening to the press conference, I hear he needs to take some blame because Arch needs to be ready. But
Yeah.
as far as the play calling goes, I don't know. But Jono, who is your hungover player of the game?
Sorry, I gotta do it, man. Arch Manning.
Oh,
Where are you at, dude? Where are you at, man? Your mind wasn't there in that game. Maybe you are hitting 6th Street before the games, you know? Maybe that's where your mind's at. You're at these parties. But I don't know. I gotta say Arch in this one. Like I said, I'm not babying him. Calling him out.
get your head right. Well, look at backing it up. My most hungover Longhorn of the game were all the Texas fans drinking Corona Extra because that game sucked. And everyone is hungover from that football game and the atrocity of watching it and then watching A&M do so well and then watching Florida keep up with LSU for a little bit. I was okay with Florida throwing 5 interceptions, but other than that, yeah, all of Longhorn Nation is hungover this week because of it. So that is my hungover player team of the game. Thank you, Corona, for being a sponsor. We appreciate it. All right, so next we have the horniest horn of the game. And this one could be interesting for everybody. Jono, who you got for the horniest?
I mean, I know that his stat line wasn't crazy good, but the dude did step in and didn't really have any massive errors. But I'm going Simon. Didn't expect him to come in. I'm sure he didn't even expect to carry the ball 17 times coming into the game. So I know it wasn't the best game from him, but I feel like he didn't have any major errors, and I feel like he was pretty sound on the ground. And it was good to see him get some carries. It's something I wasn't expecting coming into this game. So I'll give him a shout out for 17 carries.
Yep. I'm going to go with Jelani McDonald. I was excited about him coming into the season. I feel like he's proven himself. With the interception, he's just becoming a solid piece in our defense, and I like the way he's playing.
I've got a curveball.
All right.
The horniest fan base of the weekend is the Texas A&M Aggies. Singing.
You're going fan base for both ends.
Look at, I'm just saying right now, they're licking their chops. They're singing "Saw Them Horns Off" at the. Saw them at the. What's the name of the damn? The screen plays Cosm. Saw them doing that there. Like they're just licking their chops. So yeah, they're the horniest this week. However, that will get shut down very quickly. We all know A&M will choke. So, but they're very excited right now. So there really wasn't much option to choose from this week, boys. Okay, so that's what I'm going with. Right. God, this week has sucked. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I know I had on here, is LSU bad? Because, I mean, Florida gave them a little bit of run for their money for a little bit, minus the 5 picks. But, I mean, Nussmeier is not anything fantastic to me right now.
Yeah, he's not, like, I mean, same thing we're dealing with. Way less level, but he's not as advertised. Everybody's talking about, like, the maturity that he has this season. He can really step up and probably become, like, a Heisman favorite. I'm not seeing it. They got phenomenal defense, but yeah, I don't know about Nuss.
I was kind of surprised they held in at the polls, though with the way some of the other teams, behind them, Miami, Georgia, even Oregon, I kind of thought that maybe LSU might, fall 1 or 2 off of that. I get it was Florida, but they definitely looked like they struggled offensively for sure. So join the club, LSU.
Who had Florida State on their bingo card of being in front of Texas after week 3?
Right?
Yeah, no joke.
Holy smokes. All right, we'll get into our picks from last week. Scoreboard. I'm on there now, officially.
There you go.
1 win. Tennessee plus 4.5 ended up covering. Ohio State sucked against Ohio. They did not cover the 30.5. They ended up getting close, but did not cover that. Ole Miss. I don't know why I switched off the cover hogs last second, but I did. So therefore, Ole Miss ends up screwing me. So I went 1 and 2. Seth had Georgia minus 4.5. I got the victory over him on that one. He had USF plus 17.5 over Miami. That failed. And then LSU minus 7.5 over Florida. That ended up being a late game win for you there. So you went 1 and 2 as well. And then Jono had South Carolina minus 3.5 over Vandy. That was a loss.
Injury.
Yeah. Yes. Injuries. Yes. Also, I was told about it, and I was expecting to see a really nasty hit, and I don't know what happened. Like,
yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange.
Yeah,
that was kind of a buzzkill of a game. There was a lot of heat getting talked between those two teams coming into it, and it was really a buzzkill of a game.
Speaking of, did you guys hear about the what happened because Vandy won that game?
Oh, you're talking about Theo Vaughn?
Theo Vaughn now gets to go on a date with Pavia's mom, which is that's the wildest thing to happen on the sidelines in the middle of the game. Like, hey, if they win, you get to take his mom out. He goes, yeah, I'm looking for a nursing or for a nurse to marry. So yeah, I was like, oh.
I love the lead up of that question. He was asking him like, is this true? And he just looks at him like,
yep. Marshall to cover 38.5. That was a win. And South Carolina minus 7.5. Oh, wait. Did I do this wrong? Oh, yeah, I'm reading the bottom one. Sorry. Tulane 1.5 over Duke. And then Texas Tech 23.5 over Oregon State. Both those were wins. That takes it. Jono is now 5 and 4, Seth 4 and 5, and I'm in last with 1 and 8.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, there's a chance. There was a time last year. I think Jono was in this exact same position that I am in right now. Yeah, so
I think so.
I missed that parlay last night or 2 nights ago. Was it last night? Last night, by 1 touchdown from Nussmeier. That whole 7-leg parlay, that sucks. That one's a gut punch to wake up to.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Tough,
that could have been $900 in my account. Thanks. All right, you boys got anything else before we take off?
Not none of us came close on the scoring projections or predictions.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes.
Just wanted to let everybody
Yes.
know about that one. You know?
You should tune in to next week. Next week's going to be a doozy. We will talk about I do want to talk about Heisman's a little bit, like who's in the running for Heisman, because it is a wide open race right now. So we'll do that. If you guys have any topics you want to talk about, so you know, we do have a Discord, the Guys of Texas. Join that. We got plenty of channels where you can give your score predictions, your hot takes, things you want to talk about on the podcast. You can join it there. We appreciate you guys joining us. Please make sure to go to laststandhats.com. Use promo code TheGuys for 20% off your purchase. They got plenty of hats up there. Go check them out. Boys, enjoy the week. We'll get over this. We'll go back to practice, and we'll be back on Thursday and get our heads right again. Okay?
I'll be amped.
Let's do it.
I'll be amped.
We'll be right back there. All right, until then, hug 'em horns, baby.
Welcome.
Yo.